lawyers under the Mental Health Act, Poor Person Act. NASA Suffolk Law Services has denied me lawyers. Legal Aid has denied me lawyers. The court system has denied and ignored my case and denied me lawyers. I mean, they've totally entrapped me here for fighting back for all the right reasons for my children, and they violated all my constitutional civil rights. And you know, I have to deal.
Do you have a copy of your pay stubs so we can show?
Yeah, under United Cerebral Palsy, I was getting debited $390 biweekly, and I only made $18,000 a year, and that was only 60% on an arrear order. Okay, so as you can see here, $390 was being taken.
Garnish here, $390.
And look how much I was making an hour.
You were making is the $10.30.
And they were taking $390 twice a month.
$659 was your period, was your pay? Was that correct? Your pay
$390 was
before taxes, and $390 was garnish here. So over half of your money, more than half was taken out.
I came home with $272 biweekly, working 4 40-hour weeks at $10.30 an hour. They were garnishing $390 biweekly.
Okay.
1, 2, go.
That's a lot of money. $390.
It's an illegal order against me because the law is 17% of your gross earnings.
And even if you added up for the 2 children, that would be like 34%, and you're way over the 50% mark here.
Oh, and for Danielle, it's only $120 a month. Okay, the rest goes to Craig because Craig got to lie about income and everything, and they've allowed all of this. He's perjured facts to the court. He's evaded taxes for 23 years. I've reported him to the IRS, and you know, everybody's, no one's helping me in my defense, but everybody helps him to do wrong.
Why don't you tell the viewers the last time you seen your children?
The last time I saw my son was about 2.5 years ago, because when I started fighting back and writing to everybody and in my defense after lawyers misrepresented me, the law guardian further retaliated against me and lied and ripped my rights away to see my child.
And
so my
your
son
daughter,
doesn't even know me
Danielle?
right now. Danielle hasn't spoken to me since January 11th, 2007, when this all started, because Danielle was coached by her father, and on January 8th, 2007, she did something inappropriate in my house because her father was coaching her, and she hasn't had contact with me because she knows she lied and said I beat her to go live with her father with no credible evidence through CPS or anything. I got accused of abusing my children.
Okay, now you have a daughter, Nicole, who's handicapped. You have custody of her.
Yes.
When was the last time you seen her?
I got falsely accused of beating her too, and she resides at Maryhaven for almost 10 years already. Up until May, when this year, but when they revoked my license now on a wrongly imputed child support order, Jerry, I can't afford to take a cab across the island from South Shore to North Shore.
Now, I've been out to your house. You have a very nice home, by the way.
Which I'm losing to foreclosure because I'm obstructed from making a living. So, you know, this.
You haven't worked at this point, right?
I haven't worked since December 1st, 2008. Well, actually, it was Thanksgiving, from Thanksgiving on of 2008, when my last job was United Cerebral Palsy, because I did down.
And what did you do before that? What was your job before
I worked as a meat wrapper for the first year in 2007 when this all began.
You've been, well, I know you're a woman, you're not going to tell your age, but how long has it been? You've worked all your life, correct?
Yeah, prior to that, I was a mortgage consultant with the mortgage industry. I can't even go back to it because they've wrecked my credit in the process of this. They've defamed my name and reputation. I can't get my New York State banking license because of a credit report that's destroyed because of what they've done to me financially here.
I remember I was out at your house one time, and that you had received a phone call or something at the time that your daughter was involved. There's something happened in the hospital there, or where she was staying.
My daughter, the school placement that she resides at, you know, there's severely handicapped children.
Right.
She had to be rushed to the emergency room because she was attacked by another autistic child.
And this has been more than once, correct?
Oh yeah, and I've been her best advocate. And instead of the school doing the right things, they're happy that my ex-husband has, you know, done this all against me and entrapped me from doing the right things with my kids. Yet my ex-husband signed off on guardianship. The principal doesn't think, at Maryhaven, doesn't think that it is emotionally disturbing to my daughter that her mother's been ripped out of her life when I've been her best advocate her whole life.
So your husband released...
Ex-husband.
Your ex-husband released the custody.
Guardianship, yeah.
Guardianship,
but
okay.
Judge Tarantino...
And you have guardianship.
No, Judge Tarantino...
You don't have guardianship.
All right, let me explain. I have full custody. Judge Tarantino has obstructed me on unlawful orders of making decisions for my daughter. They did a false forensic against me and froze it for 2.5 years, so I couldn't even defend myself after lawyers misrepresented me. My daughter, Nicole, I legally have custody of her, but then once she turned 18, you now have to apply for guardianship. I need to apply for guardianship for her before she turns 21, or the DDSO takes over. I can't apply for guardianship if I'm sitting here with unlawful orders against me by Tarantino, and no one's doing their jobs to overturn any of the mess she created.
She's disabled, so she receives money from the state?
She receives Social Security money, and one of my lawyers, Bryan Salamone, originally got her Social Security money, and I had for his fee after he misrepresented me, and I had to retrieve it back. And then Child Support Collection Unit gave Craig Berkhan, who's not even her biological father, about $7,000 of her Social Security entitlement money. Because
now, where is the money going now?
All right, well, what happened was it was under my social, Jerry, and they took the money, and when I went down to Child Support Collection Unit, they said, oh, well, you have to get the court system to change that around. Well, yeah, I've had lawyer after lawyer misrepresent, even though they know the facts. And
who has the money?
I was forced, after going down to the Social Security Administration, to make Mary Haven the payee of her money. And
so Mary Haven has the money
for over a year already,
and
then now they're failing to give me an accounting of my daughter's funds. And my ex-husband knows his daughter's money was stolen through Child Support Collection Unit and given to Craig Berkhan. And instead of him retrieving it back or doing anything, when they have the same lawyer, Robert DePaolo, him and Craig instead are text messaging me and harassing me, and he made false accusations that I stole her money.
Now,
and I have it on my cell phone.
You've written to them and made several calls to them about the abuse that has gone on in this facility.
I actually went down.
Your daughter,
just
correct?
Recently. Okay, within like 2 months, I went down to Sachem High Committee of Special Ed, and I had them convene a meeting, and then they turned around and said, "Oh, we can't do anything. All we can do is oversee her educational needs." Yet, you know,
well, I'm not following this. There's no protection here for these children. They're
Obviously
autistic.
Not. Amy Haber was at this meeting. The psychologist was at this meeting, and then when I went into the meeting, they turned around and had the principal on the phone. And
they live on premise, correct?
Yes, they do. And,
so they have to be under some
they should be under
security.
Supervision at all times by staff. And my daughter ended up getting rushed to the emergency room. Her arm was severely bitten from here to here, and she had to be put on antibiotics. And she also got a keloid from the attack.
You had pictures of that too.
Yeah, I have it on my cell phone.
Yes,
yeah.
I believe you showed
and I showed it
yes.
to you. But you know, everyone's violating my rights here and obstructing me from protecting my children, obstructing me from survival, from making a living. I have roommates in my home. I've had to rent out rooms. I've been surrounded by witnesses through all this. The witnesses have been ignored, then called inappropriate. My mother, my neighbor, my roommates. Yet Craig Berkhan's allowed to have my son and do drugs and have a founded CPS report against him. Dr. Halegra was a pediatrician. He got up on the stand and testified against him. He hit my son so hard, he left a hand imprint on his body for a week, May 2007. And the system has failed my child and me and my children so miserably.
So the reason, to sum this all up, the reason why you are here today, you are looking for assistance, correct?
Yeah, you know, I'd like to find
evidently
a lawyer.
This is a high profile case over here. So anybody out there that is an attorney that's looking to get a great shot on themselves and maybe get into the newspaper, this is definitely a case to be picked up on. From what I can see, just to sum it up, excuse me, to sum this whole case up over here, I see that you've been wrongly accused here from what you're telling me here. I see documentation here of your husband having a drug problem, okay, an alcohol problem that's been noted by the courts, okay. You've paid over 34%, okay, of child support. You paid almost 60% actually.
More than that.
Okay, from what I can see.
And a boat and a promissory note,
okay.
And they've ignored everything.
You have custody of your daughter, who's actually being violated.
And they've obstructed
the
me
security,
from caring for her
from what
and
I
making
understand,
decisions, too.
a bite is a criminal offense. And I did see the pictures. You had bites all over her arm, okay? And I think this woman has been unfairly adjusted. And somebody out there maybe can help us here. This is Aletha Vessia. Adele, I want to really thank you for coming on the show here today. I know it's overwhelming from what you have. We can go on and on this case.
I'm losing my house to foreclosure, Jerry. I'm financially destroyed. I'm heartbroken because my children have been ripped out of my life. I have missed holidays with them.
Well, would you like to say anything to the viewers here? And
please, if there's an attorney. I had hired Robert Rambadadt originally. I took the last $5,000 cash value of my life insurance, and he's in Manhattan. Okay. And you saw the emails.
Yes.
He misrepresented. He did nothing to represent me. It took my money, and I'm out of money.
Do you have a phone number where they can get in touch with you? Would you like to?
Yes, my cell phone is 516-316-5835. I mean, this constitutes malicious prosecution, custodial interference, parental alienation, slander, defamation of character. I've had to represent myself pro se quite a few times. I need an appellate appeal done because they've sat here and done this all erroneously against me. And I need an attorney to represent me because, I mean, I've learned a lot, but I'm not a lawyer, and I'm sitting here trying to protect my rights, and then it gets denied with prejudice, and the court system in Suffolk County has failed me, so I need a change of venue because they've wronged me so badly through the court system here.
You're listening to Speaking Out. My name is Jerry Russo, your host. This is Aletha Vessia. And if anybody out there can help this poor young lady, we would appreciate your help. And thank you once again. Adele, I'm really sorry for your troubles that have happened to you, and thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you, Jerry.
Okay. And we'll see you guys in a little bit here.